And here we have this year's non-fixed bed motorhome of the year. Why non-fixed bed? Well, if you're not devoting a load of floor space to a permanent bed, you've got more lounging room, more feeling of space. And this Chausson 620 is great to drive too. Now, part of that is down to the Ford cab. It's an option. You can have a Fiat version, but we'd go for the Ford every time unless you need an automatic. There's no auto option on the Ford. Go for the 155 PS option too, bit more power, and it makes this thing an absolute dream to drive. Then looking around the exterior, external shower point. Now this 620 is closely related to last year's motorhome of the year, the 610, and you've got the same full width garage right across the back with this really useful third door, so it's ever so easy to get at whatever you've got stored in there, bikes, barbecues, chairs, the lot. You've got doors on both sides, you've got mains point, 12-volt socket, and the door on that side actually is full height with fold down shelves, so you can carry really tall items or use those shelves for little odds and ends. Chausson tried a lounge arrangement like this before in their suite range, which is no longer, but now they seem to have perfected it. And look at the amount of space you've got here. If there are 6 of you who want to sit around this massive table, then there's plenty of room to do so. The table is great for family dining too, and you only need one handle to slide it out of the way in any direction you like. Sit in these cab seats and it's easy to spin round and put your feet up. Great for a bit of on-site relaxing. Before you get to site, just look at the cab ergonomics. The Ford cab is so much more comfortable, so much more car-like than any of its rivals. And if you're carrying passengers, if they're young, it's nice to see that the rear travel seat, which is centrally positioned, so you get much better view than classic motorhome rear travel seat, which is offset to one side. Passengers can get a great view out through the windscreen. But the key thing is that seat is reclinable and it's got Isofix for child seats too. First job is to lower the table, which is done electrically. Next job is to remove this squab cushion and then recline the backrest flat. And now it's just a matter of turning another key and down she comes. Now you can use the bed in this position if you want an extra person to sleep underneath, but normally you'll bring the bed all the way down . So now we're right down to seat height and the bed slides right into the cab. So now you've got effectively an island bed. You can access it on both sides. These little side seats make it easier to just hop into bed, but this island bed takes no floor space. So you're in a 7-metre motorhome with an island bed, a huge lounge, a huge washroom. What could be better? Like all Chaussons, this 620 comes in a choice of Flash or Welcome trim. You're in the more affordable Flash, which is really keenly priced here, and that means you just get a grille. Go for the Welcome, you get a few more bells and whistles, things like reversing sensors, fancier furniture and so on, and you get an oven there as well as the grille. Either way, you get a big fridge freezer on this side. It's not the biggest kitchen, but it's enough, and both Flash and Welcome have the same gigantic washroom across the back. In fact, washroom isn't fancy enough a word for it. This is a changing room, and if your missus has an Imelda Marcos style shoe collection and wants to take her entire wardrobe, well, there's plenty of room in there. I've never seen a motorhome with more space for clothes than this one. The shower too is very generous, room for both of you in there if that takes your fancy. So great space at the back of the vehicle. Now, I don't know if it's the sunny weather they have down in the south of France or all that red wine that's on tap in the area around Tournon-sur-Rhône where they make these motorhomes, but certainly the Chausson designers have come up with something completely unique. It's by far the most innovative of our award winners this year, and it's great to drive on that Ford Transit base too. Lovely van.